Hello, my name is James Harris, and I'm proud to serve the City of Detroit as Chief of the Community Relations Division. Thank you for joining us today as we kick off our DFD Safety Series webinars, the first webinar series the Detroit Fire Department has ever done. Commissioner Chuck Sims wanted us to bring the information you need to keep yourself and your family safe and to meet you where you are. Whether you're watching from home or tuning in on the go, today you'll learn a little bit about lithium-ion batteries. They are powerful and a great resource for us as we rely more and more on technology every day. But we have to respect them and take precautions to stay safe. Our subject matter expert is one and only Chief Damon Robinson. He runs our plans and exams section here at the City of Detroit. He's been with the Detroit Fire Department for over 25 years and is working behind the scenes every day to keep you and your family safe. Before I hand it off to him, let me tell you about the topics we're going to discuss in the webinars we have scheduled in the upcoming months. Webinars will always be held the second Wednesday of the month at 6 p.m. at this same link you just used to get here today. In February, we will walk you through the do's and don'ts of home heating safety as we brave our chilly Michigan winter. In March, we help you and your family learn the best tips and tricks to stay safe when cooking, smoking, or using candles. In April, we'll walk you through something we do every day, helping you create a fire safety plan for your home or your business. In May, when things start to warm up around here, we'll talk about summertime safety, including best practices for using grills, fire pits, and fireworks. Then in June, we'll talk to you about what it means to be a key part of keeping Detroit hearts safe, how you get involved, and maybe even save a life. But today, it's all about lithium-ion batteries, what to look out for, what to avoid. Chief Robinson, take it away.
Thanks, Chief Harris. Hi, everybody. Happy belated New Year. Again, Damon Robinson, Chief of Plans and Exams for the City of Detroit Fire Department. I want to welcome everybody here for our first webinar. And today we're going to talk about lithium-ion batteries and the safety that we need to make sure that we are practicing around them. When we complete this webinar, everybody hopefully will be in a better space to understand what a lithium-ion battery is, the hazards and dangers that are involved with the lithium-ion batteries, and then the safety that we need to practice when we're using them. Afterwards, we'll have a little Q&A, and we will also have a link for a survey that we would like everyone to fill out so that we can continue improving as a department in terms of these webinars and providing excellent service to you guys in the community. So first question, where can we find lithium-ion batteries? Quick answer is everywhere. You find lithium-ion batteries in pretty much every walk of life. And if you reach in your pocket or go in your purse, I'm sure there's one in there, and it's in the form of your cell phone. So it's the most popular rechargeable battery chemistry used today. And they're found in every walk of life, like I said, mobile phones, laptops, your kids' toys. Everywhere you look, there's probably a lithium-ion battery involved if there's some sort of electronic. So what is a lithium-ion battery? So lithium-ion batteries, they use lithium ions, of course, hence the name, and electrons to create an electrical charge that can power all types of devices. So if you look to the animation to the right, you'll see a battery, it's an animation of a battery with little yellow dots. Those little yellow dots would be representative of the lithium ions. They move back and forth through the battery, the negative terminal and the positive terminal, to create electrical charge and energy. That electrical charge is sent out of the battery through some sort of cord, right? And then it can power your device. In this case, it's powering this laptop. So what we do know is the demand for these lithium-ion batteries is very, very high, and it's been increasing every year. U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission says that at least 25,000 fires or overheating incidents have happened with lithium-ion batteries within a 5-year period. So we know the trend with lithium-ion battery and their use and their demand is growing, which means that we potentially can have more issues that come up with problems. So what are those problems and what are those hazards? So lithium-ion batteries, they can malfunction in pretty much two ways. If they're overcharged or if something internally is damaged within the battery itself, just like that animation that I showed. That was a closed loop controlled environment. If that environment gets disrupted, then we could have a problem. That problem is the electrical ions and electrons that create that energy kind of go crazy, right? And so then it ends up going into what we call thermal runaway. And this causes the battery to heat up very, very rapidly, and it could possibly catch fire or even explode. So there are items within most batteries that can stop this. One thing is called a current interruption device. This is built into the batteries, and it kind of gives a signal to cut the current or the cycle of the battery if it gets too hot or something happens with the pressure inside. But those aren't foolproof. So the lithium-ion battery could possibly still go into thermal runaway. And when those batteries catch on fire, they're very, very difficult to extinguish. And we should not consider those a traditional fire. So if you guys are in a space where there is a lithium-ion battery burning, get away from it as soon as possible and call 911. So signs of a problem. So these are some early signs that we all can be aware of with lithium-ion batteries that will keep us from using them if they're damaged. So if the battery is giving off a strange odor, a strange color, or if the battery is getting too hot, those are warning signs. And then also the battery could change its shape. Again, these batteries are put into certain type of cases or containers, and when they start going into thermal runaway, they create a lot of pressure, and so they could explode or change shape. Leaking, if there's anything coming out of the battery, whether it be a liquid or solid, that is a definite no-no. And your battery should not be making any noises, okay? If your battery is hissing, if your battery is cracking, popping, sizzling sounds, that is a definite sign that the battery is failing. So if all of those, if you take all 6 of those into account, any of those things happening with your battery, consider it malfunctioning or damage and on the verge of being a serious problem. And then, of course, at any point there's smoke or flame coming from the battery or device, get away from the battery, get out of the room, get out of the building, and call 911. Let us come and handle it, okay? So now I want to give you guys a couple safety tips in regards to working with lithium-ion batteries. Again, like I said, they're all over the place, and they're probably in some of the household appliances or products that you use. You see on the picture to the right, there's somebody using a weed whacker, a weed whip, or an edger that is charged by a lithium-ion battery. So when you purchase and use these devices, you want to make sure that they're listed by a qualified testing laboratory. You can see at the bottom right-hand corner, there is a logo there, and it says UL listed. UL stands for Underwriters Laboratory. They're a company that actually does safety checks on products to make sure that they meet certain standards before they go to market. Those are the signs of the logos that you'd like to see on batteries and the products that they power. So you could see a UL logo, and you could also see a CE logo. Any one of those will say that that battery has been tested and is approved to be used. You always want to follow the manufacturer's instructions. Always read the directions on how to use the product. You only use the battery that is designed for the device. That's a big one. You don't want to mix batteries up. If you got 2 power tools and they are from different manufacturers, and you switch the batteries out, that's a bad way to go, because you have batteries that are basically designed to operate a certain product, and the capacities are different for each battery. You always want to put batteries in the right way in your device, okay? So you switch it around, you're changing the polarity of the connections on the terminals, and it can cause a discharge in the battery and end up causing thermal runaway. You only want to use the charging port that came with the device. A lot of times we'll go to stores and buy off-brand charging ports to charge our device, especially like your cell phone. That is not a good idea, because what happens is those charging ports might not be rated for the phone or for the device that it needs to power. And it can either give too much power to or too much electricity to the phone, thus damaging the battery, or give too little, and then the cord itself can end up becoming overloaded. You do not want to keep charging the device or device battery after it's fully charged. After you get a full charge with one of these batteries, always unplug the charger. You overcharge the battery, it's going to overheat, The overheat is going to cause it to go into thermal runaway, and you could end up having a fire. And then also, you don't want to charge your device on your pillow, on your bed, or on your couch. That is a definite bad idea. I mean, if you do that and you possibly could have a failure in the battery, you're going to end up like me, bald headed. They're going to burn off all your hair. So, some more safety tips. We're not throwing batteries in the trash. All right, you always want to try to recycle them. In the city of Detroit, you can contact the number that is listed on the screen. That's our Department of Public Works, our household hazardous waste. They can give you direction on where to take your batteries for recycling. Other online resources would be Earth 911 database and a call to recycle. That's call, the word call, the number 2, and the word recycle. Do not attempt to modify the battery or charger, okay? And also don't try to repair the battery or charger. We are not professionals. You need to get a qualified professional to do those things. You could do more harm than good. You also want to keep batteries at room temperature at all times, okay? Don't want to charge them at temperatures that are extreme, either below freezing or above 105 degrees. Those are extreme temperatures that can compromise the integrity of the battery. So you always want to kind of keep those at room temperature. You also want to store batteries away from anything that can catch fire, okay? Batteries can heat up and not necessarily burn, but they can get hot enough to ignite things that might be around it that are flammable. So you always want to keep batteries in areas that have non-combustible surfaces. Preferably, you would like to store your batteries in metal containers or something that can't burn. So no cardboard boxes or plastic bags. Do not store or charge batteries in areas that are near exits, windows, or pathways to get out. See that I put this in bold. This is very, very important because batteries are such an integral part of our life, the lithium-ion batteries, and we use them so much, we kind of get used to them just doing their job, right? But when they fail, they can cause an extreme amount of damage and possibly threaten somebody's health or life. So you definitely want to make sure that the batteries that you're charging or storing in the house are not in areas that if they were to fail and catch fire, they will block your way out or possibly block our way to get in, right? So that is very, very key. And then the last one, as always, you always want to have working smoke detectors installed in your house that can detect if there is a change in the atmosphere of the house, if there's something burning, right? And that's just letting go for battery, but that's all things, right? This is early detection. We can replace things, we can't replace you. So we want to make sure that you get out and are alerted early enough to be able to call 911 and let us come and help out in the event of emergency. So, real quick, let's recap. What were lithium-ion batteries? They were batteries that use lithium ions and electrons to create an electrical charge that can power all types of devices, okay? And if a battery malfunctions, it can produce extreme heat, fire, and even explode. So you have to consider these as dangerous objects if they do malfunction, all right? Now, the warning signs that we can actually all use our senses to figure out whether or not a battery is having a problem is if it is giving off a strange smell or odor, if it's changing in color, okay? If it's giving off too much heat, again, if it's getting too hot to hold or to keep in a certain space, and if it changes in shape, if the battery like bulges or swells, if there's anything leaking out of the battery, and of course, your battery shouldn't be making any noises. No odd noises. All right, the do's and don'ts. We're going to start with the don'ts. Again, don't leave your devices plugged in until they're fully charged. You always want to unplug your devices once you get a full charge on those batteries. You don't want them overheating. You don't want to charge your device under your pillow or on your bed or on the couch, okay? That is a problem that I think a lot of us probably don't think about. You don't want to put these on things that can burn so easily. You don't want to charge your devices in extreme temperatures, and you don't throw lithium-ion batteries away in the regular trash. We always look for recycling opportunities for these batteries. So the do's, I'm gonna leave you guys with the do's. Do always purchase some devices that are listed by a qualified testing lab. We talked about that UL logo and that CE logo. Look for those logos and stickers on your batteries and your devices that they serve. And then you only want to use the battery and the charging port designed for the device. Again, we're not mixing and matching things based off of what we got laying around the house. Use the tools and the products that are meant to be used for the devices and the battery itself. Keep devices and batteries at room temperature. That kind of goes along with not charging them at extreme temperatures. And then you always want to store batteries away from flammable objects. And then also too, I'll add, it's not on here, but we talked about it. Don't store or charge batteries that are blocking your way to get out of it. Okay, so I hope everybody learned something today. I hope we are a little bit smarter than we were before we started. Again, we don't want you to be afraid. We want you to be informed. We'll start with the Q&A now. And I'm going to give it back to Chief Harris so that he can take your questions.
Phenomenal job as usual, Chief Robinson. Great job. Very informative. So I got a couple of questions. I usually charge my cell phone overnight. Should I charge it in another room, not in the bedroom?
The answer is yes. If at all possible, you always want to charge the batteries in spaces that, again, are going to not be on your way out of a building or a room, right? So the farther away the battery is from where you are while it's charging, the safer that you're going to be if something happens to that battery.
So with lithium batteries, when they burn, is there also a concern for toxic smoke that they might generate in addition to being a fire threat?
Good question. So when lithium-ion batteries burn, the chemical reaction that happens inside there actually doesn't create noxious gases. However, the casing and the materials that they use to make the battery as a whole do, right? So you got plastics and certain types of metals. So once those start burning, they will give off noxious gases that can be detrimental to your health. So definitely want to consider any type of smoke that's coming off of that battery as dangerous.
Okay, thank you. Well, how long can a lithium-ion battery burn?
Oh, wow. It really depends on how many cells are in the battery itself. So each lithium-ion cell, there's hundreds of cells in certain batteries, and as they go into thermal runaway, they can burn for quite a long time because it's actually an electrical short circuit. So it just is continually creating energy until everything is discharged. And that can take a very long time. We've seen batteries, especially in car fires, EVs, burn for days, right? Even after we felt like we extinguished it, a couple of hours later, it fires back up again because it starts consistently creating heat.
Okay. So what challenges do you see for the fire department with lithium-ion battery fires?
Oh, some of the challenges that we have is, like I mentioned earlier in the slideshow, there is no magic bullet in terms of how to approach these lithium-ion battery fires. So we can't just throw water on it and then walk away and it's fine. Like I said, these batteries can reignite. So we try to use a different types of tactics based off of the type of lithium-ion battery fire that we find, right? So you always want to try to we have issues that we can do that we have with vehicle fires, EV fires, but then there might be a laptop fire in their house. That might be a little bit different. We can kind of get that laptop out of the house and get it outside and kind of mitigate the danger there. But it's different based off of the situation. So we're always trying to just seek out new information on these batteries and the products that they serve, as well as meet with industry partners so that we can understand the science a little bit better so that we can keep everybody safe. But again, keep in mind that you always want to check those warning signs. And if those warning signs are present, then it's a good idea to probably give us a call just to be on the safe side.
Okay. So what about when you take it to to take the battery to a facility? Should it be in a plastic bag?
Yeah, so I said before that it probably wouldn't be a problem, but plastic can burn. So you always want to carry and transport these batteries in containers that are non-flammable. So bottom line, try to make sure that it's in some sort of metal can or something like that. because if you're transporting it in plastic or in cardboard boxes, those things can burn. And so if the battery heats up for whatever reason and malfunctions, we don't want it to be around flammable products.
Got it. So what about a battery that shows only one warning sign? Will it still be dangerous?
Yes, good question. Your battery only needs to show one warning sign for it to be considered dangerous. Even if after that, my son has a radio controlled car, and he has some lithium-ion batteries that he uses to power it. And one of those batteries was swollen, and he was still using it. Nothing happened, thank God, but that battery would still be considered dangerous and unstable in some way. So if there's a warning sign that you see, in this case, we're talking about a swollen battery, immediately stop using it and take it to a recycling center as soon as you can.
Got it. Glad nothing happened. Serious.
Yeah.
Is there a maintenance schedule that should be followed or a specific time that they should be discarded?
Yeah, so batteries, they're pretty durable. So again, like I said, they're all over the place, right? So we kind of take them for granted. They last a long time. So the maintenance schedule would really be what we laid out in the PowerPoint today. Just being mindful of some of the things, keep them away from flammable products, making sure that you're charging and storing them at room temperature. Those type of things, and making sure that they don't get wet. Okay. Those type of things you want to try to make sure that you're doing so that the battery can stay working just like when you bought it bought it new. Most batteries last roughly 2 to 3 years or 3 to 500 charging cycles. So, but we've seen batteries last a long time, right? We have cars out here that have batteries that are 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. So it really depends on the manufacturer and the products that they use to make the battery, as well as how many times the battery has been used in discharge.
Is there a way to tell if the battery has been tested or certified?
Yeah, so again, the best way to tell if a battery has been tested or certified, if you can even open the device to see the battery, is that UL logo or that CE logo that I spoke about. You always want to look for those. Those are in the US, the trusted safety organizations that test our products before they go out to market. So we always want to look for that UL or CE logo.
Batteries are exposed to flooding. What do we do?
Yeah, that's a good question. Your battery gets wet in any way, and it's exposed to flooding. Immediately consider that battery, even if it still works, consider that battery damaged. Consider it as part of that warning sign, or one of those warning signs, that it's being wet. We can't be sure that it didn't compromise the battery. And to be on the safe side, you want to discontinue using it and make sure you take it to the recycling centers that are near you.
Okay. Got it. So once it's gone bad, once that battery's gone bad, where do we take it to recycle?
So again, in the city of Detroit, if you're city of Detroit residents, you want to, I'll give you the number, you want to call 923-2240. That is the Department of Public Works Household Hazardous Waste Information line. They can give you more information on where to take the battery within the city. Outside of the city, I can't really speak to, what places will take lithium-ion batteries to recycle, but you can go online and tap into Earth 911. That's Earth, the word Earth, and the number's 911, or call to recycle, the word call, the number 2, and the word recycle.
Okay. So this may be a different question, but do all cell phones use lithium-ion batteries?
Yeah, that's a good question. All is a very definite, it's a very all-encompassing word. So I would say most cell phones use lithium-ion batteries. Remember I said that they're the most popular chemistry for batteries in rechargeable devices. So even if you think your phone doesn't use a lithium-ion battery, it's safe to assume it probably does. Some of the older ones might not, but it's safe to assume that pretty much all phones use lithium-ion batteries.
Okay. So is there a specific fire extinguisher rated to put these fires out?
Yeah, good question again. It's a really good question. So, no, short answer is no. Like I said before, there's no magic bullet for putting out a lithium-ion battery fire. Okay. There's a lot of factors that need to be considered when those things happen. So there is no specific fire extinguisher that you can spray on a lithium-ion battery fire. We would not recommend that anybody in the community even try to use a fire extinguisher to thinking that they're going to put it out. Just call us immediately, get out of the space, like I said, or the building, and call the fire department immediately for us to be able to handle it. 911, that's your magic. Those are your magic numbers.
Got it. So what are the hazards of the small lithium-ion batteries? They're usually called button batteries, mostly found around children and children's toys.
Yeah, so the hazard there is, it's small enough to be swallowed. Okay, and so those objects, because they can be swallowed by children, can react violently once they get into their body. So it's a choking and as well as a chemical hazard if it gets into the body. So you don't want that, and so you want to try to keep those type of batteries, any type of battery for that matter, that can be swallowed, away from small children.
Thank you.
No problem. No problem.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I want to remind everybody to, make sure that they reach out on the survey. So and answer the question. This is a very short survey that helps us help you, helps us get better at what we're doing, as well as more topics to discuss. And actually, all of this stuff will be shared on our City of Detroit website, our fire department website. Just go to detroitmi.gov, and you will be able to click on the links for this presentation as well as future.
Thank you very much, Chief.
And thank you, Chief. Appreciate it. Appreciate you having me.
Well, thank you everyone for coming out and getting this great information, this knowledge, this fire safety series. We're going to be second Wednesday every month. We look forward to seeing you. Pass the word to your friends and family members who weren't on today. The more the merrier. We want everybody to know what's going on with the DFD. Thank you again. Everybody stay safe.
Thanks, everybody.